Hey guys, Tillman the Magician here again. Today I wanted to start a new type of video. I will be going over every tarot card, and I'm doing this because above all, witchcraft is a path to self-improvement, path to self-mastery, and I feel as though the tarot cards are a very easy way to gain insight on yourself and to just improve and learn from. I think it's one of the most important tools in this craft, and I really think it will help you improve a lot if you just go through every card and study them and observe what kind of connections they represent, observe what kind of character traits they represent, and use this knowledge in order to better yourself. So with that being said, we are going to start out with the Fool. The first, well, the Zero tarot card, really, what it depicts a young man, often thought of as a jester or a joker or a vagabond, something of that matter, and he is about to run off of a cliff. He has a very carefree posture. He's looking up to the sun, not a care in the world. There's some other stuff in this card. You have his flower that he's carrying, typically a white flower that he's carrying. This is representative of his purity, of his innocence, of his inexperience towards life. He also has a little dog with him, and this dog is typically thought to represent his intuition. So it can help him. It can warn him of dangers, like it's trying to warn him he's about to run off a cliff, but he's ignoring it. That's another aspect of this card. So the dog is representative of his intuition, and it's saying that he should listen to his intuition, and it will be a guiding light, a protecting light for him throughout his journey. He also has a knapsack, which is representative of his lack of burdens. He's very unencumbered. He can go do anything he wants. He has nothing holding him back per se. So that's very helpful in explaining the point of the Fool. You also have the mountains in the background. Now these mountains, he's not paying attention to them. They're in the background, so they're representative of future problems that he will almost certainly encounter. There are going to be numerous problems that someone with his attitude will encounter, but at this moment, his energy is not focused on those problems. It is more focused on on setting out on his journey, on gaining confidence, and stuff like that, so he can set out on his journey. Now, there's a lot of good aspects of the Fool. We're going to get through the good and the bad, but first the good. The Fool can represent a new start for you, a change of direction. If you are feeling held back, if you are feeling like what's working for you right now isn't really working out, then the Fool is a good card to pull. It can represent a change of direction, a new beginnings, a new start, some new project or venture, or just point of view towards life or anything like that. It's also a good card if you're doubting yourself. It reminds you to trust in your intuition, trust the universe will cushion your fall if you do fail. It's a card of relinquishing self-doubt and just moving forward and knowing that everything will work out in the end. This is also a card of taking risks. So if you're feeling like you need to do something, you need to push forward, and you're stagnant right now, the Fool will encourage you to take risks and to move forward. It's a childlike enthusiasm for life. It's just a happy, joyful card. It can be dependent on where it's pulled in a reading and how it is interpreted, but it can indicate that you have a childlike enthusiasm for life, that you're not letting little minor things distract you or mess with your positive attitude. It's also a great card to pull if you are falling in love. It typically means like vitality in this manner, because when you fall in love, you kind of have to be the Fool. You know that all this bad stuff could happen, but you kind of have to ignore that and just move forward. So the Fool is a great card to pull if you are going into a relationship. Just remember not to let your past influence how you act in this new relationship, and just move forward and be happy at the moment, and don't worry about the problems that could arise. But that also leads us into the bad negative connotations of the Fool. Um, so the bad stuff. Whenever you are falling in love, it is easy to fall in love with love and not map out how the relationship will go, not map out how y'all will work out in the future. It's easy to just fall in love with falling in love, and to not like really take into account how this thing could go, how everything could work out. Um, this card is a warning to look before you leap, to make sure everything is good, because the Fool, he can just jump into stuff without thinking about it too much. Um, this card can also indicate you are being insensitive towards the need of others, that you need to look and see what other people are trying to tell you. It can mean you're just moving forward and not really taking into account the feelings of others, and things of that matter. So you need to look out for that when you pull the Fool. It can also be a card of avoiding responsibility. If you don't take much too seriously, like the Fool of Vagabond running off a cliff, he doesn't take anything too seriously, and that can be a good thing. But you have to watch out for avoiding responsibility, especially as you grow older. And the Fool finally is also known for rushing into bad situations. So just be very careful when you pull the Fool. Like, have that childlike enthusiasm for life, yes, and especially in your creative endeavors. But when it comes time to make a very important decision, try to not let the Fool influence you too much and make you not think about a bad situation before getting into it. So finally, the Fool can be good and bad. It's a card of trust. It's a card of faith. But on the two extremes, you have one side of faith, which is like naivety and can make you make a lot of mistakes, and you have the other side, which is trust and faith and like good faith and good stuff. So you just want to find a balance when you pull the Fool. It can be both. There's two very extreme poles of trust and faith. So just make sure you find a balance between the two, and you don't rush into anything stupid and make bad decisions. Just trust your intuition when you pull the Fool. It will mostly always lead you in the right direction. The universe will always have your back no matter what. So have a little faith, take a little risk, and the Fool will lead you the right way. Try to live a little, have more fun. Don't take everything so seriously. Don't try to control everything so much. This is another energy of the Fool, so definitely just anything goes with the Fool. So just go with the flow, see what happens. But when it comes time to make a serious decision or get involved with something that will impact you for a long time, just remember that the Fool can lead you astray when making these type of decisions. So be sure to think, have fun with life, and enjoy the energy of the Fool. See ya.